Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I know a lot of people were asking me to do a IAG air-to-oil separator install for the 08 to the 14 Subaru WRXs. So in today's video, we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna give you guys a step-by-step guide exactly on how you guys can do this yourself. I'm gonna try to be as detailed as I can. So be prepared for this video to be a little bit long because in my opinion, I'd rather have more information than not enough. You guys can always skip through it. That way you guys can get a good understanding of how to do this install and exactly what it takes to get it done. So I'm gonna unbox this for you guys. This is the IAG Street version. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what comes in here, so what to expect, and then we're gonna go ahead and go in the garage and install this. Now before I open this up, guess what color it is in the comments. The thumbnail's gonna ruin it. Alright, so right away, you guys can see we got a bag. Here we got lots of zip ties. We got all the connectors that we need, the 90-degree fittings, and this is the little metal bracket to relocate your wiring harness. So this is pretty much everything you need right here. I'll show you guys exactly what everything goes to and how to set everything up. So this is all the hoses that you guys are gonna be using and needing. There's different sizes and different lengths, and I'll show you guys exactly which hose goes to where so you guys don't get too confused. I'll try to do my best to explain exactly which hose is which. All right, now time to reveal exactly what color you got here. You guys ready? Oh yeah, look at that. That nice stealth black look. This thing's a beauty. Definitely gonna be a very nice upgrade for the car. Excited to get this in here. What do you think, man? You excited?
Hell yeah, this is gonna be very good for the car.
I almost went with this one too for my car. So, you know, I'm really happy that he went with this one. This one's really cool. All right, you guys, so everything laid out here. I'm gonna show you guys what comes in the box. So here you guys should have your air-to-oil separator. You should have 7 hoses total. 2 little bags with 2 brackets inside and a couple bolts and stuff. Then you guys should have 7 fittings. These are the fittings that should come inside of the air-to-oil separator. I apologize that all this is a black and it's a black table. It just happened. Anyways, and then you guys should have a bundle of zip ties with another hose right here. And then 2 stickers. So just make sure you guys have all that and then get ready to do the install. Alright you guys, so now that I showed you guys what tools we're going to need, let's go ahead and get started. First, what you're going to want to do is disconnect your battery. You could disconnect your negative battery terminal or both of them. I'm just going to do the negative. We're going to go ahead and get into disconnecting everything else and taking off the top mount intercooler. Just disconnect that. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is disconnect this bypass valve from the top mount intercooler. These are going to be 10mm bolts. Next, we're gonna take out these intercooler bolts. These are 12mm bolts. They've got one right here. We got these 2 right here. You wanna get a flathead screwdriver and loosen this hose down there. And it actually might help to go ahead and take this bolt out as well. So take this whole metal bracket out just to get it out of the way. Jesus Christ.
They are.
Now we're gonna remove this bolt right here. And then this one, and it's supposed to have another bolt, so take a flathead right here and disconnect this hose clamp. Now this is pretty much ready to just pull off and out of the car. There we go. And there we go. So that's the really huge top mount intercooler. Take that one off. So let's put this to the side. Now I recommend just putting rags inside it like the turbo just to keep stuff from falling into it, especially bolts. And then same thing with over here. And then also cover this one. All right, guys, don't mind these gloves. This is all I had, all right? We are in a tough, rough time right now. So next thing on the list, we're gonna need to take off the passenger side valve cover breather hose, and then we're gonna do that on the driver's side as well, but let's do one at a time. So let's do this side first. So as you guys can see, this is the one that we want to. So take this hose clamp off right here and then pull this hose off. Just make sure we get it off pretty good. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and try to see if we can pull this one off now. Might need a flathead. So I'm gonna use a little flathead right here to kind of assist. There we go.
There she blows.
So that's the one that you want to take off right there. Looks so clean.
Sorry, we've got this, guys.
Then you also want to go ahead and pull it off of this. So take this hose clamp off and then just pull it off. There we go. Moving on to the driver's side. All right, so now we're gonna go on to the driver's side breather line. You see this white connector? You want to follow it down, which is down here. And then that's where you'll see, that's the one that you want to remove right here. The one closest to the front of the engine bay. Let's go ahead and remove this. So there's gonna be that hose clamp that we want to take off, and then we're gonna go ahead and pull that hose off. And there's this one. So same thing, go ahead and disconnect it from this connector. So there we go. Really quickly, we are going to, we have an aftermarket downpipe and an NVIDIA catalyst that we're gonna put on this car that just came in. Since we're taking this off and we don't want the air to oil separator to get in the way, we're gonna go ahead and install that right now. We're making a separate video for it. We will link that right here if you are actually interested. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be right here, maybe like up here or something. But we'll link that, and then if you guys wanna watch that, you guys can. But in like 5 seconds, we'll be right back and we'll give you a sneak peek of what it looks like. Boom, we're back. And we have a new downpipe inside of this car, as you guys can see right now. NVIDIA catalyst die-forced wastegate with the extra bung right here for the gauges. This is gonna be really good addition to this car. We made a little install video for you guys to check out, and we'll link that, and then we'll continue with the air to oil separator install. All right, now that we got the valve cover breather lines disconnected on the passenger and driver side, we need to disconnect this blow-by sensor. Go ahead and pull this sensor off. It's right by your guys' turbo. Just like that. It's a little hard, but you gotta push really hard on this tab. So first we're gonna go ahead and take this gray electrical connector off of this, and then we're gonna disconnect this sensor from this hose. And the way you do this is you get a flathead in here and then you pull it apart. So to get this connector off, you have to get the flathead in between it and then pry them apart.
And then actually slide it forward off of the rail right there, like it just came off of.
All right, we wanna take this blow-by sensor off, this white one. See this little clamp? You don't want to take this clamp off, so get a flathead, get it in here, and really work it. There we go. See that? See that clamp loosened up? Now we want to pull this off. And look at that. See this? See this, you guys? This is why we're installing an air oil separator. You guys need this. You need this.
You need it.
All right, you guys, after you guys pull this off, you want to grab this jumper out of here, and then you want to grab this gray sensor, this connector. Let's try to get a better lighting here for you. And then you want to put it in here and tape this off. Grab these. You want to try to be careful with it. So there we go. Now we want to go ahead and put this guy back. Make sure you push it all the way down. Now just get electrical tape and tape it off. And there we have it. All right, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and take this sensor off just to get a little bit more room to get to this hose. So just pull this clip in, push it in, pull this off like that. And then as you guys can see, now we can see this hose. All right, you guys, so after you remove this little connector, it'll give you a little bit more room to get to this clamp right here. You wanna loosen this clamp, so loosen this one and pull it that way. Take this hose off, and then you also wanna, then you pretty much wanna just yank this off of the block. You wanna yank this whole piece out, and I'll show you exactly what piece I'm talking about once I pull it out and what it looks like. All right, as you guys can see right there, this is the hose clamp I'm talking about, so go ahead and loosen that up, and then now disconnect this from this. All right, there we go. So let's get that one out of the way. Now we can go ahead and pull this whole guy out, and if you can, you guys can see there's a little clip over there, the clamp. If you guys can, get a flathead in there, break it loose, it will help you guys take this out. Otherwise, just, I don't know, get some pliers on here and just yank it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get a flathead right inside of here to break it loose. So we broke that clamp loose right there, as you guys can see. Now we should be able to pull this off. Well, there we go. So this is the piece that you guys want to pull out. Just like so. All right, you guys, now we're gonna go ahead and grab this 3-inch drain fitting and then this Y fitting. Then we're gonna put these together and then we're gonna install this to the vehicle where we just pulled that hose off of. There we go. Now go ahead and zip tie that for safe measures. Now we're gonna go ahead and install this back. You wanna install it, just back into that port like this, facing in this direction. So you guys can see that port. Go ahead and try to slide it on. What I recommend is actually putting a zip tie on here loosely first and then continuing the install. All right, so here we are. We got this in here. Now we can see there's gonna be a little bit of an issue right here with this plugging this sensor back in and putting this hose on. So as we go, we're gonna try to make room or make it work, and then we'll show you guys how we make it work. I've been trying to move this a little bit, but it doesn't budge. So we're gonna go ahead and finish putting this in. So I went ahead and slapped it in, as you guys can see. See how there's like no room, but we'll make it work. So we slapped it in here, and then what I would do is put the zip tie around and have the zip tie come out right here where my fingers are. See? That way it comes out perfectly right there. You guys can get it low, get a little flat head to assist you guys, and then try to tighten it down as low to the actual block as you can. So push it down, and then just tighten it up. There we go. Now just cut off this excess as well as you can. It's gonna be a little hard, I'll tell you that, but just do your best. And that should do. All right, guys. Now that we have this one connected, we're gonna go ahead and go back to this hose that we took off the crankcase on the passenger side. And there's actually another hose that was connected to it right here. This is the hose that we need to remove. So take this clamp off and then pull this hose off. Just do your best to spin that coupler a little bit. There we go, pull that hose off as well. Now we're gonna go right here and we're gonna disconnect all of this. So go ahead and push this connector in right here and disconnect this, like so. And then we're gonna need to take that jumper out of there. And then put it right back into that connector and it'll go in the top part. So right where the piece is where you have to push in. Get some electric tape. We're actually gonna go ahead and take this off as well. So go ahead and put a little flathead in there and then pry these two apart.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pulls out.
There we go. So just get rid of this. Now that we have that jumper in here, go ahead and tape this off so that way away from all the elements. Now let's go to the driver's side. So you want to do the same thing on this side right here. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the sensor by pulling or pushing on this tab. So same thing, let's take that jumper out. Same thing that we did on the other side. You want to grab it and you want to plug it in back into the harness. So it's going to be on the top part. And then tape this off along with taking this piece off. So you guys see that little tab right there? You just want to push that in and slide this thing right off. Like so. Now let's grab some tape. You guys can just tuck these away so they're just not in the way, or you guys can zip tie them to things. All right, now you guys see this hose that's remaining. You want to go ahead and pull this one off. So find it, trace it back, and then right there where you guys can see the little hose clamp, you want to loosen that up and just pull this hose off. So I got the coupler loosened. Now we can just go ahead and pull this thing off, just like that. Coupler, hose clamp, whatever you call these things. Now we're gonna move on to taking off this harness from the strut tower. There's gonna be a clip right underneath it that holds onto this bracket. You want a flat head and you wanna get that in there. So basically what you guys have to do, there's a clip underneath it. What you do is you pry it down on that clip and then you grab this harness and pull it that way or push it that way and it should come off. So push down on the clip, then you pull out. Now it's off. Now there's just one more clip right here holding the harness on. We're gonna go ahead and take that off as well. Push the tabs in on this clip right here. Just grab some pliers, push it in, get that clip off. Now this thing will be able to slide off just like so. Now we can get this bracket off. So go ahead and get a 10mm socket wrench and take off this bracket on the strut tower because we're going to be replacing this bracket with a different one. All right, there's this bracket. These brake lines. So we're going to grab a rag here and then pry them upwards Just be really careful not to damage them. And then we're gonna go ahead and use these 2 mounting holes right here to install the air to oil separator. So let's just do one at a time here. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put it on, and hopefully that's gonna be enough room and it's gonna clear. If not, we're gonna go ahead and do it some more. But just be really careful with these brake lines. All right, guys, so this bracket right here, get those 2 10mm bolts that they supplied, and then we're gonna put them through here and then into there. Now that this is installed, we're gonna go ahead and get this harness, relocate it, take out this 10mm bolt right here. Now let's go back inside really quick and grab the little bracket that we need. All right, this is the bracket that we're gonna need to relocate that harness. So this is pretty simple. Just grab that bolt you just removed. You want to put it like this and put the bolt in here. Now don't tighten this all the way because you do want to be able to swivel this around, clip the harness in here first, and then tighten this. I'll show you what I mean by that. So get the harness and clip it in. It just slides right into this little groove. There we go. All right, so we got this coolant hose on. So you guys can see, we're like, you know, half an inch bad at measuring. Dude, I tried to measure this and I'm pretty sure that I did measure it right. Obviously not, but I thought I did. And then when you go to put it on, everything changes. So make sure you give yourself a lot of extra space. It's better to cut it again rather than not have enough. But that's still on there pretty good. That's not going anywhere. This clamp is a biatch. So, all right, moving on to this one right here. Yeah, I wasn't expecting coolant to come out of that one. I think that's good right there. And let's go ahead and put the clamp back on it. Yep, there we go. So there's those 2 coolant lines. And again, so make sure you guys leave yourself a little bit extra, so it's better to cut more than not to have enough. But this will do. If this is a problem, this hose is not a problem to replace. But that is why I do these installs for you guys. So that way you guys can see what to look out for and what to watch out for. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. All right, you guys, next we're gonna grab this oil drain line. We're gonna route this, and it's gonna go right here into the engine block where the plastic fitting is. So they give this to you extra long, so that way it's supplied for different kinds of turbochargers depending on where you have it located. So you go ahead and trim this, make sure there's no kinks, and then go ahead and plug it into that port that I just showed you guys and secure it with a zip tie. At about right here, I think this will be good. And then let's go ahead and plug her in right here. So we're gonna go ahead and slip a zip tie on here loosely first before doing it, just to make life a little bit easier. Stick it through here and then plug it in right there with the zip tie. You guys want to grab this hose right here, the one that says the fuel line. It's the 5/8 inch hose, it's the big one. You want to grab this, and then you also want to grab the 1/2 inch fitting. Cut 2 inches off of this, put 2 inches on one side of the zip tie, the rest of the hose on the other side. Like, we want to make sure we cut enough. So we're gonna cut 2 1/2, just like this much, just to be sure. Go ahead and slide this guy in here. Let's get a zip tie on there. Let's get the other side on here. Another zip tie. All right, now we're gonna grab this, and the short side, now we're gonna go ahead and stick this short piece right here. So there we go. Now we're gonna go ahead and get a zip tie on there to get it secured. It's gonna be a little tough to get the right angle on here because everything is like touching, but just kind of do your best. This 1/2 inch hose, and this is pretty much the shortest 1/2 inch hose we have left. So grab this one. We're gonna be routing this from the driver's side breather port on the valve cover to this middle port right here on the air to oil separator. And this hose fits perfectly. I'm not sure exactly which hose IAG is talking about when they say, because they say trim to fit, but this one is gonna work, and we're just gonna use the other hose for the other steps. But if this is not enough for you, use the other hose, trim it, and then save this one for another step. So right there, we're gonna go ahead and get this one onto the driver's side. And then we're gonna get the other side. As you guys can see, we just have it routed underneath. It just goes right here. And then we're gonna connect that. Now what I'm actually gonna do is route this behind. I'm gonna route this right here like so, and then it's gonna, there we go. A zip tie on each side. Pretty clean look right there, no kinks, and it's a nice smooth flow. That was hard. All right, good enough. All right, so that's done. Zip tied, make sure your connection is good, no kinks, and we can move on to the next step. So we're currently using the iPhone camera because the GoPro died. So we're letting that charge a little bit. In the meantime, we're gonna use this camera. So get the remainder hose that you have. This is the long one. We're gonna be using this for multiple connections. We're gonna be cutting it to length. So right now we're gonna be connecting the passenger side valve cover breather hose. We're gonna connect one side right now, and then we're gonna connect the other side right here on that air to oil separator, and we'll cut it after we connect this side. So go ahead and slide it on there. Now get a zip tie on here. Now this is gonna get routed underneath like so. All right, so we're just gonna route this one like this. And now we're just gonna go ahead and trim it right about here. Boom, we got those done. All right, now we're gonna go right here where you guys can see this plug that we removed, this blow-by sensor that was right here connected. Get this clamp and loosen it up and then pull this out. There we go. This whole sensor comes out like that. Now what you guys wanna do is grab this 90-degree fitting. It's a smaller one. I'm gonna go ahead and put it onto that hose with the zip tie. Like so. And trim off the excess. Perfect. I'll grab the remaining hose that you have. This one's gonna be connected right here and to that little piece that we just put on here. So what I would recommend doing first is connecting it right here, routing it, seeing how much you have to work with so you can cut, you know, the least amount off as you can. So you have the rest of the hose to work with for the next part. So get a zip tie. Now this one is going to be connected right here. You guys have to keep in mind all the different connections you're going to still have, like your top mount intercooler right here. That's going to be connected to your turbo, so you don't want anything to be in the way. So you kind of want to route this coming out like this. So we're going to cut it like right there. I think right about there will do her. Perfect. Get this guy secured as well. You guys want to grab this 1/2 inch to 5/8 inch adapter that is supplied. Next, you want to put it on right here. If you guys remember that one little hose that we pulled off right here, that all was attached to that sensor that came down to the passenger side crankshaft or valve cover. Now we're going to go ahead and get this bigger end of the hose and put it onto there. There we go. Now, I would say zip tie, but that is so on there so good. All right, guys, after you guys have that, what you're gonna need to do is you grab the remaining hose that you have left. This one's gonna be connected to this port right here, and it's gonna be connected to right there. So just route that best you can without any kinks or obstructions, just from there to there. Grab this hose, and then you guys wanna go ahead and slide it onto the port right here. And then get a zip tie on there. Yes. So we're gonna go ahead and route this like this, cut it right here and connect it. Slide it on, get a zip tie. Side of the crossover pipe done. We're gonna do this driver's side. So grab this hose coupler or this clamp right here, and take this hose off. All right, after you got that, IAG supplies you with this cap right here. You guys want to go ahead and cap this off and then use a zip tie to secure it. This is a little bit tricky at first to try to get because it's a little smaller, but you have to stretch it onto it. There we go. Now get a zip tie and get it on there. All right, everybody, the last hose. So this one, the one with the threads, is gonna go right here onto the IAG, and then this other end is gonna be going right into here. You guys can see that port right there. So that's where we're gonna connect that. What you have to do is put this side in first and thread it in because this has to spin. So you have to, try to get it on there nice and smooth and don't cross. This is a plastic thread. These are very easy to mess up. So you guys want to grab your 11/16 and tighten this guy down. And make sure you use an 11/16 because, like I said, this is plastic. If it's not the right size, it'll strip super easy. Gonna do her right there. Now this last one, we're gonna go ahead and route right back here. So it looks good. And then get a zip tie on that guy. So now just get that zip tie tail cut off. And boys, that right there completes the IAG Street Series air-to-oil separator on the 2008 to 14 WRX. So really quickly before we put on the top mount intercooler, because we will show you guys really quickly how to put that back, and then we'll end the video. Really quickly, we're gonna do this electronic boost control solenoid while this is off, just to give us some space. We're gonna go ahead and flash back to that, and then we're gonna end the video. But anyways, here's stock boost controller to this. So the Cobb boost controller is now on, and we're gonna install the top mount intercooler. So if you guys are interested in that video, I am going to go ahead and link that for you guys so you can see how to install that. Now let's go ahead and get this top mount intercooler back on, and the air-to-oil separator video is finished. We're gonna go ahead and put this bracket back on that holds the top mount. We'll tighten that down once we get the top mount on. Let's go ahead and take out the towels. All right, so go ahead and try to get this coupler in first. All right, after you guys got this one in there, go ahead and tighten it down so that way it doesn't move when you go ahead and do it on the turbo. So right here, the only issue we're having is this fitting is a little too high up. So we did cut this a little bit longer than 2 inches, just to be sure, just in case it wasn't too short. I advise you guys do 2 inches or a little bit shorter than 2 inches so that way this intercooler would actually clear. What we're having to do is just gonna have to push down a little bit on it, but it's not a big deal. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and put these bolts in here. And we're gonna go ahead and tighten these down. All right, so after you hand tighten these down, hand thread them, you wanna go ahead and start tightening it down. Also get a bolt in there, so before you fully tighten. Now this guy can go all the way since it moves right here. All right, now we got these two right here. So these guys can also be tightened all the way. So just try to straighten it out as much as you can. And then last but not least, we got this bolt right here to finish the tightening process. And then don't forget about you got your bypass valve. All right, next you got these two right here you want to tighten. All right, so finally let's tighten this guy down. That's done. Let's go ahead and grab the battery, put this back on as well. All right, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is how to install the air-to-oil separator street version on the 2008 through 14 WRX. I hope this helped you guys. I hope it was clear and detailed enough for all of you. If I left anything out, please feel free to leave it in the comments. For everybody else that is doing this install, we're all trying to help each other out here. We're all a nice car community, so And if you guys are interested in the other installs that we did in this video, like the Cobb electronic boost control solenoid, which is right here, and then we also did the NVIDIA catalyst downpipe. We're actually about to tune the car right now, but that's going to be in that other video for the downpipe. So if you guys are interested in that at all, the link is going to be in the description. But until next time, see you guys in my next video. You guys all have a good night. Keep social distancing, and you guys all stay safe out there. Peace out.